Cabal gun placements up ahead. They saw us coming. And watch out for drop pods. Halfway there. Cabal have hardened bunkers up ahead.
I see a whole lot of them from up here. Give them hell!
Nicely done. Now go start the rite of proving. Once you make short work of the commander, you'll be done here.
And not a moment too soon.
This might be a strange question, but why a tank on Nessus?
Because the Cabal ain't met a problem that can't be solved by brute force.
You seem to have a familiarity with their, tactical prowess.
I flew sorties against these bastards during the Red War. Watched them set the city on fire. Watched them slaughter civilians and lightless guardians like it was nothing.
I had no idea.
You didn't hear? Traveler blew Gaul out like a candle flame.
And they're still fighting us?
They're Cabal. It's what they do. All they know.
No one fights for nothing.
And there's more where that came from!
I don't think they can hear you. Try yelling louder. Look, I get it. I do. But Zavala survived.
Do you have any idea what would happen if we lost him? They might as well cut our throats. That man is the glue holding us together.
You're close?
He's family. Ikora too, and Cade. I miss him something fierce.
Cade 6. Wish I could have met him. Some of the stories I've heard.
Yeah. His killer got what was coming to him.
Does that make it easier?
Not really.
I'm sorry.
Hey, you wanna get a drink or something when we get back?
In the city? I've always wanted to try that.
You ain't never had a drink in the city before? Oh, Crow, buddy. Buckle up.
Not too shabby, Guardian. This should buy us some time before the Cabal defectors regroup.
Hey, Crow, well, we got a minute? I've been meaning to ask. How's it feel to be a hero?
Come again?
Zavala. Everybody's talking about what went down at that treaty.
What did you hear? How much did they blow what I did out of proportion?
They're saying you took a knife for him.
You know me, Holiday. Always looking to make a good impression.
Well, you sure impressed me. For what that's worth.
You want to get a drink?
The Cabal are entrenched, prepared for our arrival. They've erected a proving ground outside that massive tank. The pack hunts.
You're going to face heavy resistance up ahead.
Remember, do not hold back. Show your enemy no quarter, as they did to us in the Red War. Now, begin the rite of proving. Show them what we're made of. And leave them trembling. Cabal defenses are hardened around the tank. We won't be able to push further.
What matters is that we pushed, not how far.
Spoken like an Iron Lord. You could have been one of us, Osiris.
The Iron Lords don't hold a monopoly on strategy. I thought you were a more pragmatic lot. All or nothing, like the Red War.
That was different. We didn't have our light. After Siva, after everything the Warmind put us through, we couldn't risk more losses.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't young Aphrodite disobey your orders and fight lightless?
She did.
Oh, so is this a new leaf I see turning? Are the Iron Lords coming down from their mountain?
You'll know when we do.
Oh. I look forward to it.
I was wrong to sit out the fight against Dominus Gaul. The Iron Lords would not have left enough survivors to allow the Cabal to rally. This isn't the Zavala I know. He was a fighter, a survivor. The city has made him soft.
He's a politician first and a soldier second. This is a war. One wonders if it should be led by warriors.
I misjudged you, Osiris.
How so?
When I heard of your exile from the city all those centuries ago, I assumed you a madman and a fanatic, a heretic at best.
Am I not those things?
You are. But had the city not cast you out, we may not be in the position we are now.
Perhaps I was wrong, too.
About?
You. You are a man of great potential and clear thought. In times like these, we need that clarity, lest we lose our way in the dark. I'm surprised at the number of Cabal who revealed their true intentions following Keitel's armistice.
Are you? I would not be surprised if there were just as many Guardians who were repulsed by this decision.
Do you think the Cabal and Guardians so similar?
I think people with convictions will fight for them, whether or not those convictions are righteous ones. The Cabal who defied the ceasefire are the worst of them. They cling to desperate hopes of victory and glory, like the fools they are.
Humanity did much the same after the collapse. But where we could turn to the Traveler for salvation, I fear the Cabal have no alternative.
The Traveler would never accept the Cabal.
It isn't the Traveler we should be worried about.
Intel reported increased crew activity. Seems they were right.
Never good when the Cabal get this frisky.
Whatever they're planning will be less effective without a commander. Get in there and take them out.
Ironic that the land tank is grinding up Nessus for Cabal munitions. That's been the Vex plan for centuries.
If either side were competent, they'd have wiped each other out already. So the task falls to us. Crow's intel indicates the commander is nearby. Challenge them and tie this off. We've got other fires burning. I respect a commander who's willing to shed blood on the front line.
That's easy to say when you're the one left standing.
I don't regret a single one of my 1,000 deaths. It's the times I chose not to fight that I regret.
There's nothing wrong with choosing real peace. I wish the Cabal were that clever.
That will never happen. The Cabal have honor. They would rather die than surrender. I admire that.
Remind me not to get on your good side. I'm not sure I'd survive it. I can't believe how close the Cabal got to Zavala.
Never underestimate the enemy.
Or the Vanguard. Makes you think about how few of us actually stand between humanity and...
Evil?
The Cabal are just trying to survive. Same as us.
For centuries, I've watched humanity edge closer to extinction, while new lights quibble over morals and semantics. If the Vanguard wants a lasting peace, they should finish the Cabal. For good.
We won't have many of these sorties left now that Zavala and Keitel worked it out.
Proof of how far the Vanguard has fallen.
Easy now. Some of my best friends are fallen.
How degrading.
Lord Saladin, we prevented an all-out war with no civilian casualties. This is a win.
It's weakness. A real leader gives no quarter or second chances.
Cabal forces are entrenched out here. You're in for a hell of a firefight before we can breach their defenses.
Those command carriers are likely to send reinforcements, but I'll try to draw their air support away.
Clear the field. That should buy me enough time to take down the barrier that's blocking the way forward. Barrier's down. Get a move on. Be careful. The Cabal got sloppy. Vex have moved in behind them. Watch your back or you'll get caught in the crossfire. The Imperial commander should be up ahead.
Give them what for? Kindly remind them they don't belong on Europa.
I'd skip the kindly part. The Cabal searching for the secrets of the Deep Stone Crypt. I don't understand wanting to become a machine. To lose everything you are. What sort of person is willing to do that to themselves?
From what I gather, folks becoming exos weren't always willing.
And here I thought the people of the Golden Age were supposed to be enlightened.
But the Cabal feel the same way about themselves.
The way you talk about the Cabal, others talk the same way about the Elixni, especially in the tower. Shax openly jokes about killing them. Some Guardians wear their bones on their armor like they're animals. It's different when you walked among them, shared a meal with them.
Well, I ain't gonna be sharing a meal with no Cabal anytime soon. Can't believe the Cabal would want to go looking for the birthplace of the Exo just to treat it like a salvage yard.
To the Cabal, Exos are just another enemy. Or worse, a resource to plunder. The Elixni saw it the same way once. Some still do. People can justify almost anything if it makes things simpler.
Why are you like this? One minute you're mouthing off and throwing shade. The next you're talking like you've been sitting in a cave reading philosophy all your life.
Well, there's not much else to do out in the reef. Very boring.
All right, now I know you're screwing with me.
A little. Good work down there, Guardian. You make it look so easy.
Says one hero to another.
I'm no hero.
You are to the folks that matter. You and the Guardian, like peas in a pod.
I'm not accustomed to being in the spotlight like this.
You don't say.
I'm very mysterious.
A whole enigma.
Seriously, though, I can only take so much credit. You hang around great people long enough, and they'll start rubbing off on you.
All right, Guardian. The Cabal are determined to dig up something bad, and they've got the head start. You're gonna need to hustle to close the gap.
They're looking for the deep stone crypt here. Then they're groping around in the dark, so to speak.
Sounds like there's plenty else they could find around here. Keep pushing, Guardian.
This is the time, Guardian. Begin the rite of proving. That should be enough to scare them off. For a short time, anyway.
They seem awfully determined. Any chance they'll go looking somewhere else?
Doubtful. If anything, sending the Guardian in has convinced them to return.
Well, when they do, we'll be here to stop them again. You know, I'm surprised, Osiris. Once upon a time, a place like this would have set you off. Ranting and raving about Vex algorithms and prediction encoding and other stuff no one understands but you.
Yes. Well, research is far less appealing without an assistant to confer with.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense.
As highly as the Cabal value honor, they don't seem to apply it very consistently. Fighting for the Empress' favor? Honorable. Rebelling against the Empress? Also honorable.
Well, it depends on your definition, I guess. Seems the Cabal think of it more as personal glory, something you win in battle. But when I think about honor, I think about it as something you do. Honor your parents, honor your commitments. It's about trust and doing right by people. And you definitely did right by the people of the last city today, Guardian.
The Cabal incursion is isolated around a nearby Vex structure. They haven't yet had a chance to fabricate heavy fortifications.
The Vex are agitated. Expect their interference as well.
Go show them the power of humanity's champions.
Look at this. Picking apart the Vex like carrion birds. It's pathetic.
There is no glory in what the Cabal are seeking here, just desperation.
Agreed.
This Legion's champion is near, Guardian. Perform the rite of proving, call him out, and show him the power of the light. We should send in another team to do a second sweep. Today's survivor is tomorrow's enemy.
Did the Vanguard not have a loosely held policy on offering quarter to fleeing enemies?
The Vanguard asked an Iron Lord to meet their forces. If they did not wish me to fight like an Iron Lord, they should have asked someone else.
While I agree, I can't help but wonder if your disregard for their codes of conduct may cause friction.
Friction is conflict. Conflict breeds strength. They know this. Or they should.
In my experience, what the Vanguard should know, and what they actually know, are not always the same.
You speak the truth, Warlock. My only hope is that they have not forgotten the Battle of Twilight Gap, and the lessons learned there.
Can you see it as clearly as I can, Lord Saladin?
I do not have time for your riddles.
No riddle.
Then out with it.
The Cabal understand the fear of mortality. It is all they have ever known. When you see them here, pawing at the scraps of the Golden Age in search of eternity, that fear is crystallized. I am left to wonder. What new fear could we lever against the weight of the Cabal Empire? What does Keitel dread losing most? And how could we turn that fear against her?
The Cabal dissidents seem broken, easily crushed. I did not imagine this treaty would work, and yet, here we are.
Is that the voice of Lord Saladin I hear? Admitting fault? Truly, we are in dark times.
It is not fault. Time will be the arbiter of whether this holds, and I have no faith in that.
It would be in the Cabal's best interest to maintain a ceasefire. It would be in our interest, too.
Clever. Was your plan solely a proposition to placate Zavala's ego and buy time for a proper counteroffensive?
An interesting observation. Were that true, would you have a contingency plan?
I will. Soon. And when the time comes, I would go boldly if I knew I had you on my side.
Then go boldly, Lord Saladin.
Guardians, this fight is between the Empire and the Hive. Do not interfere.
I'm sorry. What? You're breaking up? I'm flying into a tunnel. Go light him up, Guardian.
The Cabal have dramatically underestimated the density of the Hive. They are overrun. We can use this to our advantage. Clear out the Cabal on the periphery, then become a spear and strike through their hull. The Brood is relentless, but do not lose sight of your target. The Cabal's champion is near. They cannot deny the proof. Challenge them. End this.
Coming down, Guardian. I cannot stand the Hive. Just looking at him makes my skin crawl.
The Hive are not that fond of you either, Miss Holiday.
Can't blame Keitel for wanting her people to burn out that nest. Nowhere those things belong but gone.
You have a sense of conviction that I find fascinating.
Yeah, well, I'm a fascinating person.
Even after losing as much as you have, you continue to fight, knowing well you have but one life.
Sometimes, one life is all it takes.
You would make a fine guardian, Miss Holiday. Though I'm not sure you'd appreciate the barrier for entry.
So Crow and I were talking last time we ran this operation. It got me thinking about how hard the Cabal are fighting and what for. Maybe if we took a look at things from their perspective, we might, I don't know, see it differently.
You know what Thrall are.
I'm no child. I know what Thrall are.
To the Hive, a Thrall is a child. Quick to physically mature. But still little more than a toddler taking its first steps. These Thrall scream, seek, kill, devour. To grow, advance, and change.
The hell's this got to do with anything?
You do not hesitate to destroy Thrall.
Of course not. They're monsters.
Yes. Monsters should be put down. Do not let Keitel fool you with honeyed words that the Cabal are any different.
How many more times do we gotta clear this place out?
That depends on which brood these hive belong to.
I meant the Cabal.
Ah, as long as they continue fighting against us, we will push back. Should the Empress violate our agreement...
She ain't a conqueror, Osiris. Not like we thought. For all your fancy magic, you sure missed the human side of her.
My fancy magic had nothing to do with this. Cabal aren't human.
Keitel and the Cabal are on the run without a home, chased by the Hive. That's a familiar story.
Don't confuse feelings for facts.
You talk like they ain't the same sometimes. Keitel's a protector, trying to find a home for her kin, no matter the cost.
And if that cost is your freedom?
We can all be better. We have to try. Fallen, Cabal. Hell, maybe there's even something left inside the Hive what's worth saving.
I hope you're right. This holiday.
Eyes up. The Cabal have been holding off waves of Hive for weeks. But the situation may have deteriorated.
This is an important strategic position. It allows Keitel to establish a beachhead on Earth at the Hive's expense.
Letting them settle in would be a bad idea.
Go forth, Guardian. Cleanse this place. Cabal would risk everything for a chance of retribution against the Hive. So much rage, so much suffering.
You saw what the Hive did to the Elixni on the shore. That would push anyone to their limit.
The Red War proved that the Cabal have no limits.
Then let's give them some. I have eyes on their commander, just up ahead.
Cabal honor will dictate that he'll have to answer your challenge.
Time to fight fire with fire. Or bullets. No, your choice.
The Cabal are so consumed by vengeance, they would risk antagonizing both the Hive and our vanguard.
Smells like desperation. Perhaps Keitel will cut a deal after all. One that's more to Zavala's liking.
Desperate creatures cannot be trusted.
You may not trust the Cabal to make peace, but I trust the Hive to kill us all if we don't. Watching the Guardian cut through the Hive just to beat down a Cabal commander makes me wish I could work more openly for the Vanguard.
After your service to Zavala, he could hardly deny you. He owes you his life.
He still thinks it's best if I stick to the shadows.
There are many who would not have made such a selfless gesture. Zavala should count his allies carefully.
Guardian, the Cabal have established a base not far from here. It's possible they're already engaged with the Hive, so expect a little chaos.
This is our chance to kill two birds with one stone.
If those are birds, you're gonna need a boulder at least. The Cabal brought some serious weaponry with them. They must really hate the Hive. Then again, how else should you feel after your home has been destroyed?
Now is not the time to psychoanalyze the enemy.
Right. Meditate on their motives when they're dead.
Now's your moment, young wolf. Invite the enemy to meet their end.
You make it look easy, Guardian.
Yes, if only all light bearers had their focus.
Was that remark pointed in my direction?
We had no time for idle chatter when we were defending the walls at Six Fronts, I'll tell you that. And I doubt Zavala tolerated it during the Red War.
You'll forgive me. I'm new, so I'm not caught up on our history. What were you doing in the Red War? Huh. Must be a bad signal. The Cabal certainly have it out for the Hive. It's almost a shame we can't team up.
Their mutual hostility may work to our advantage, but don't forget who we're fighting for. Hive, Cabal, Fallen. All of them are threats to the Traveler and the people it protects.
The Elixni, I know, don't care much about the Traveler. Keitel doesn't seem to either. Zavala, on the other hand. That's a grudge the Cabal will cling to till the end of time. And you know what they say. The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Friends are friends, and enemies are enemies. That's war. These are the creatures Zavala thinks will respect an armistice.
To be fair, the Cabal were focused on the Hive until we showed up.
They've established a base in Vanguard territory. On Earth. It's an act of aggression that should be met in kind.
These are clearly dissidents. Kaito lost a lot of support agreeing to a truce.
The Cabal are not guided by reason. As far as I can tell, neither is the Vanguard. Not anymore.
From what I've heard, the Iron Lord's definition of reason hasn't exactly been a winning strategy.
I think we're done here.
At least we agree on something. The Psions are already deep in the Vex network, and it looks like they have Imperial backup. You can catch them if you hustle.
Lucky for you, Amanda Holliday runs a door-to-door service. I've dropped you close to the entry point.
And, lucky for me, she also has a sense of humor, which is refreshing after working with Saladin.
That's a pretty low bar to clear, but I'll take the compliment. You're on the right track. Keep drilling down. You'll hit gold soon enough.
We're picking up big energy spikes below your feet. Odds are good, but that's where their commander is.
Time to show the big boss what you got.
You know how to get their attention. Osiris said this isn't the first time the Psions have tried to mingle with the Vex. Were you around for that holiday?
I was in the tower at the time, but I wasn't really involved, so I don't know much.
Glint's been combing through the Vanguard archives, helping me catch up on the history. I'll ask him to skip ahead.
Good idea. Just the thought of clairvoyance combined with prediction engines, ooh, it's making me sweat.
I'm with you. Even if we can't see the future, knowing the past might help us stay on top of this.
You gotta hand it to them. The Cabal sure get creative when it comes to warfare.
You think? All they're doing is retrofitting Vex technology.
Well, sure. If it's there, they might as well use it. Gotta be resourceful when you've been turned out of house and home. That goes double for when the Hive God of War is the one turning you out.
Is that a note of compassion I hear in your voice, Holiday?
No, not one bit. How dare you?
My apologies.
I respect their hustle. That's all. Finally. Hopefully that's the last time we'll have to clear this place out.
That would be nice. Unfortunately, Keitel's cooperation has angered enough dissidents to last us a while.
Why us? These were her people. Why can't she clean up their mess?
We're Guardians. I'm told this is what we do.
I'm not. And I'm no political expert either, but seems to me that a ceasefire means that everyone minds their own.
I'm sure Keitel is doing what she can to bring them all to heel. At least that's what my gut tells me.
Your gut, huh? Well, my gut still has some shrapnel in it from the Red War, so... Alright, Guardian, you're coming up on the Cabal base.
If these Psions are half what we suspect, their commander will already know you're here.
That never bothered the Guardian before. Well, hell, maybe now they'll put up a fair fight.
I always imagined these Psions as reluctant hostages to the Cabal Empire. But even now, with the Empire in ruins, they fight to the death for Keitel.
Yeah, they're playing a bad hand as best they can.
No excuses. Eliminate them at will, Guardian. If the Psions are allowed to continue their research, it could spell disaster for the Vanguard.
Yeah, too much clairvoyance and they might turn out like Osiris. Not sure how much of that we could take.
Challenge their commander. Bring this operation to a halt. I see that you have some tactical experience against the Cabal.
I blew the hell out of him during the Red War, if that's what you mean.
Tell me, after Gaul was defeated, did you imagine we'd be back at war with the Cabal in just 4 short years?
It does leave a bitter taste when you put it that way.
Perhaps the Red War never ended. Perhaps it will go on and on. and on, until the Cabal are ended.
No arguments here.
Have you heard about the attempt on Zavala's life, perpetrated by one of these Psions?
Yeah, I heard. I can't bear to think on it. After Cade, if Zavala had...
How many more have to die before we take these threats seriously?
What do you think we're doing out here? I got serious bullet holes up and down my ship.
And yet we let them regroup. We should take the fight to the Cabal, instead of waiting for them to come to us.
Guardians guard, they're not invaders.
Perhaps it's time that changed. Good work, Guardian. With the Psion's commander gone, we'll make quick work of the rest.
Zavala seems to think he can work it out with Keitel. Maybe we leave that to her.
I would have thought that you, of all people, would understand the need for decisive action.
Why? Because of Cade? Because of all the people I lost?
Because you're a soldier, and a survivor.
Killing Keitel's people won't bring mine back.
After everything that's been taken from you, you still have more to lose.
If we wipe out the Cabal, if we start thinking like the Hive, then we lose the most valuable thing of all.
Cabal Psions have already cracked their outer security layer. The Vex network is compromised, so move fast.
Imperial reinforcements have arrived. They know we're coming. Show them the futility of foresight.
The Psions have commandeered the Vex security systems. We'll need to wrest control of the defense network from them.
Their back is against the wall. There is nowhere left to run, and the pack closes in. This commander aspired to greatness, and now they will be reduced to little more than a memory. Finish this. What dark magic do the Cabal weave here?
The Cabal do not weave magic, unless you count their grasp of technology as sorcery. But I can see where something like a prediction engine blurs those lines.
They wish to enact change on the future by knowing it.
They are not the only one.
Then they will fail. They would be better served studying the past if they wish to control the future. It is no different than a duel. You watch your opponent for tells that indicate what they will do next, not because you can see the future, but because you've studied the past. Their style, their form, predictability.
That is a level of insight I did not know you capable of.
That is also why they will fail. You are familiar with this prediction engine, are you not?
I have studied them extensively. They are not all that different from Vex simulations, but there is nuance.
Could we use one of these to feed false information to the Cabal? Hijack an accepted broadcast transmission, feed their commanders bad tactical data, then use it against them.
Clever, but flawed. The data from a prediction engine is useless noise without psychic capabilities.
I do not see that as an impasse. We capture Psions, hook them up to a prediction engine, and coerce them to perform the tasks through whatever means are necessary.
You may need a warlock for an endeavor like that. There is magic deep enough to erode even the most adamant of wills. But I do not believe the commander would sanction those methods.
A precision strike against holdouts. This is absurd. Keitel has tricked the Vanguard into fighting her political enemies for her.
The Vanguard have spoken. What more can be done but abide by their rules?
Don't come at me with this hypocrisy now that they've welcomed you back into their fold. You, of all people, should understand how short-sighted this is.
But there is a time to draw swords and a time to draw lines. The former has passed, and the latter... I can see which side of the line you stand on.
The same side I have always stood on. The side of humanity.
It may be time to find others who can toe the line as clearly as yourself, then.